This is what it looks like on a day of filming when it's hot.
Yeah.
Using the drone as a fan.
Whenever God shine a light on me, open up my eyes so I can see.
Well, welcome back to the table. Not only you, but also this guy over here. I'm Stefan, and this is Ray. Ray, you've been on vacation for a little bit.
I went just about 5 or 6 days off and headed up north. My understanding is Raleigh broke all heat records forever.
Yeah.
106 degrees.
Yeah, we borrowed some of it in Burlington, too.
Yeah. So, we were up north and the high was 82.
Oh, my God.
So that we are grateful.
Good for
but
you.
anyway, just got back in yesterday, so I feel like I'm just hitting the ground again.
Yes,
but anyway,
absolutely.
we're good to be back and good to have you guys.
Yeah.
By the way, if you didn't see last week's At the Table, go back and see it. It was incredible. Stefan and Josh did a great job. And so we continue with this theme we're on right now.
Right. We had Jay on camera last week, too, and we reminisced about At the Table because, and like I said last week, this is not the end of 2 years of At the Table. This is the start of the third year of At the Table.
Yeah.
So we're at the table still is the title of this series for the next couple of weeks.
And it seems to me that one of the things we say often enough, at least in church, is at the table. We believe that it's almost a divine making of God, this table time. It's because it's at the table where barriers break down, where people become friends, where people can relax and be themselves, at least hopefully, that is a safe place.
Yeah.
And that the people who are gathered around that table, we think is a place where our Lord does do incredible work with all of us. And so in our estimation, the table is a divine implement. It's almost like a chalice. Or, it's a divine inspired.
I agree with absolutely the efficacy of Jesus meeting us at tables and doing that divine work and being with us in wonderful and beautiful ways. I wanted to spend just a second thinking about what does it feel like for us to be at the table. What can we do to pay attention to that in the moment where Jesus is meeting us at tables? What does that feel like?
Well, I think that's where it pays for those of us who call ourselves Christian to always be, what is the word? The word is perceptive. Always be looking out for where are the places that I can make myself a table. Make myself a table. And I think it can happen in a grocery store parking lot. It happened to me just a few weeks ago in a grocery store parking lot in Burlington. And as I'm going into the grocery store, I see an old man who is coming out. And it is a struggle for him to walk with the cart even. He was old and bent over. Anyway, and so I just thought, I'm going to help him with his groceries. And I just went over and said, hey, can I help you? Oh, I don't need. I said, look, I don't mind. I'm not going around with timetable. So he said that would be great. So I did. Put him in his car, put his cart away, and he offered me money. I said, you can't. No, this is just, it's just. Yeah. And so then I started to walk back into the grocery store. And as I'm walking back in, no lie, it's one of those things, this wasn't of your own accord. It's going to be worse for him when he gets home.
Yeah.
Getting those groceries inside. And so I started to go back out to him, and he was already in the car and driving off. And I ran to my car and got in my car, and I followed him. Anyway, and I just said, hey, it's me again. And look, I just thought you're probably going to have a hard time. It's going to be hard for you to get all this in the house. And he said, oh, you didn't have to do that, but I did. And what I didn't know, so I helped him get the groceries in the little teeny living room with the kitchen in there as well.
Yeah.
And took them all in. And he went in anyway. And then he said, "Look, will you come and meet my wife?" And I said, "Well, I'm sure she. I don't want to bother you guys. I'm just no. She would love the company." So I go in her bedroom, and she is bedridden. And we just talked for a minute. I said, and he's bragging on me. This man just helped me out of the blue. And then, out of the blue, she says, "You've been such a blessing. Can I pray a prayer blessing upon you?" She's in the bed.
Yeah.
And she wants to pray blessing. Talking about a table being turned.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know how to receive it. And so it was amazing. But that's where you just have to be sensitive. What is May the Lord might be setting
Yeah.
something up for you.
Yeah.
You know, do all the good you can. You know, that sort of thing, and
Yeah.
you do it, and you never know. So, but I think the table can be anywhere. I mean, I see that today. The parking lot to
Yeah.
the grocery store was the table.
Mm.
Who knew?
I love that. I love that idea of the tables being turned in that way. We think about Jesus turning tables over in the synagogue, and that's kind of an angry place of Jesus. So Jesus is flipping the tables over out of frustration. But for Jesus to turn the tables, maybe not necessarily turn them over, although sometimes it probably feels like that, to turn the tables around so that, like you said, you were in a place you thought you were giving, but then you ended up receiving.
Just total different aspect.
Wow.
I would never gotten emotional about that if it hadn't been turned.
Man.
But it seeded something in my heart and soul.
That makes me feel what I hope that I understand about Jesus, that Jesus would go to any lengths to meet us at the table.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At any lengths. In fact, there's a story in Scripture that's all about that. Well, we came out here because we wanted to act a little bit. The story that we're going to be talking about this upcoming Sunday is Jesus walking on water. And what happens before then is, this is right after the feeding of the 5,000.
Yep.
Jesus is done healing, is done feeding, all those miracles have kind of passed. And Jesus tells the disciples, all right, you guys get in a boat, go on across the water, I'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Right.
And then a storm kicks up while Jesus is on the mountainside praying. And while that storm kicks up, the disciples are out in the middle of the lake, the Sea of Galilee.
They perceived the Sea of Galilee, or any sea, that it was the entering the abyss.
Yes.
It had no end.
Yes.
It was down to the abyss.
In fact, any of our friends that might have a little bit of thalassophoria, which is a nice big word for means the fear of open water.
And it's dark.
Yeah.
Darkness is also associated with evil.
Yes.
So you have all of this going on.
Right. And then all of a sudden they see a figure that's walking across the water, which rightfully so they think is a ghost.
Right. The abyss, the darkness.
It's coming out. Something is coming out of the water, out of the abyss. Maybe it's out of the storm or the fog, whatever it is. And they're fearful.
Yeah.
And so this figure calls out to them, and a little bit unto to them, it's Jesus. And Jesus calls out to them, don't be afraid. And then he says, it is I. Peter has the gall. He says, hey, if this is you, Lord, then call me out to let me walk across the water with you. And Jesus says, come on.
Come on.
Let's go.
He did.
And so then we get the miraculous moment. Many of you have heard it where Jesus, or not Jesus, but Peter steps out of the boat. He begins to take a few steps towards Jesus. Everything seems to be going well until he notices a wave or a wind coming across his path. Tension. And he begins to sink under the water. Yeah. Jesus reaches down, pulls him up by the arm or by the robe or whatever he's wearing at the moment, and says, oh, you have little faith.
Yeah, yeah. You know, some people take that to extreme, and wasn't it John Ortberg in his little book said, but the other 11 guys are still in the boat.
Yeah.
Peter's the only one that got out, you know.
He had a level of trust.
It's like, I don't think Jesus needed to get on the boat to go to the other side.
Right.
I think he could have continued walking if he had so desired.
He could have gone across the water and kept going, or he could have gone around.
He could have gone around them.
Yeah.
But isn't it amazing he goes to them?
Yes.
And I think that's what we forget.
Yeah.
That Jesus comes to them.
Yeah.
Jesus comes to Stephan.
Jesus breaks the rules of reality that they all exist within.
Yes.
In order to make it to the disciples to give them some peace.
Yeah. And he gave them what they needed in a miraculous way.
Yeah. And we talk about that moment often as the trust that Peter had in Jesus, but I don't think it's a blind trust that Peter's walking into. And I don't think Jesus is asking us to walk forward with a blind trust. Jesus wants us to realize the work that he's doing in order to reach us so that we can live in an actualized trust.
whether it's in the middle of the sea, or
Yep.
at your dinner table,
Yep.
at church, at your family table that
Right.
I hope is a divine place,
Right.
or either that troublesome table.
Oh, even
There's some
so.
tables that are frightening.
The one with a little storm on it?
Yes.
Yes. I would love for you to look at this opportunity as for a chance for you to walk forward with some trust and excitement about what Jesus is offering to you, maybe as much as Roger as he gets on a wakeboard for the first time.
A 7-year-old.
Across water. Yeah, yeah.
A 7-year-old on a wakeboard behind a power motor.
Yeah. Let these clips show you a little bit of the excitement that Jesus wants you to walk forward into.
Not me when I'm 7. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, listen, we got to make it back in. This is hot. All right. We'll see you next time at the table.
The summertime's here and it's such a good feeling. School is out and now I'm all about chilling. Hanging with my buddies at a barbecue. You can call your friends and we'll meet around 2 o'clock. Around the block, people walking, talking about whatever as they head to the parking. I think the temperature's so warm, 85 in the sunshine, and now my city's alive. No worries about rain on a sunny day, cause the blue sky's chasing all the clouds away. It's just me, my family, and all my friends, cause in the summer every day is a weekend. In so many ways. In the hot summer breeze underneath the trees where the shade is cool and I'm thinking of you. And I'm